One was standing in front of the glass window as her eyes were on her best friend. She was laughing while her husband was sitting with her husband. But he was also looking so happy with her. One was staring at the one wanted to punch her face and broke every bone of her body, but she controlled herself. She clenched her face as tears started falling. One turned and started walking. She was barefoot. She started to walk on the road in a worse condition. She was looking hopeless. Katie, best friend, destroyed one's life. One had nothing in her life, but Katie destroyed her happy marriage. One divorced her husband and left him long ago, but he hasn't moved on. She was in so much happy marriage, but then that Katie came and destroyed her marriage. Well, it was not rough. At first, he ignored it, but then he got involved with her. And both hated both of them to the core of her heart. She just wanted to hurt them all. She just wanted her revenge. She wept her tears and sat down on the foot, but she had no money, but her mind was giving her, which she wasn't ashamed to adopt. Now, after thinking what to do, she made up her mind and she got up. She was ready to get her revenge. 1 month later, when entered the apartment and put her things down. She looked at the small apartment, half dozen, when she lived in a mansion. It was she decided to clean it first. She started cleaning, but suddenly her cell phone started ringing. She immediately grabbed her cell phone and hello, she said, and Mrs. Vine was selected. Vine says often after hearing what she said, really? Yes, come tomorrow. Boss wants to meet you. Okay. She cut the call and he couldn't believe what just happened. She got up and started spinning happiness. Finally, she got selected at Joe's company. She got selected in Katie's husband convenience. That was the first step of getting close to Katie's personal life. Vine was so happy and was ready to happy marriage. It was difficult thing because he loved her so much and she didn't care. She didn't want him or his love. She just wanted him to fall in love with her and adopt Katie. And then after Van would fly out of the country, she wanted to use him to get her revenge. She was ready to fulfill her plan. Katie destroyed her and she was ready to do everything. She sat down on the floor happily and started cleaning. She did her work and after that went to her room. She looked at her clothes and was so puzzled what to wear, and finally after an hour later she selected a dress for herself. She was ready to wear it. She believed that he would fall in love with her so easily, but she was also scared what if he knew about it. The next morning she got ready and was looking so pretty. She wore her heels and stopped in front of the company. It was a huge and established company. She always saw what did Katie chose to cheat on him with her husband. She came and the secretary looked at her boss is waiting for you. One became confused by that girl looked at her. Donovan nodded and actually walked towards his office. She only heard him because Katie didn't tell her while marrying him. The door closed as she entered with his secretary was sitting in front of her in a cold mood. She heard his referencing his cold face. Actually, she didn't want to do this but felt so ashamed, but just to get her when she was doing that. She knew that she wasn't doing well, but she couldn't live happily after leaving Katie like that. So you can go, Julie. She nodded and walked out, leaving her alone there with him. Sit down, she nodded and suddenly looked at her fingers and she was wearing a ring. He didn't ask her and so Miss Fine, I heard about your husband so much. He's a good businessman. I give you this job because I believe that you know everything very well. Your experience is very good. My secretary is leaving this month, so I want to hire a secretary. I believe that you are better for this position. I hope you will not embarrass me. No, I will try my best. He's smart. You can go now. She nodded and walked out. She came and sat down in the room. She looked at the room and opened the files. She was ready to do the work. Authors both Katie and Van were best friends since childhood. But then stopped talking after Katie went out of the country. They both got married. Katie and Van didn't tell each other because they didn't meet each other. Katie didn't tell Vine about her husband. She pretended she was single and started to come to meet her at her house. Vine never doubted her. One day she found out about their secret relationship. Her dad broke her. Vine got into many points and many things happened. And Katie left like nothing happened. Vine and John didn't live in Korea, so she didn't know about Katie. Katie came in between her marriage. She started to live in her house. Vine didn't know about it. When Vine knew about everything, she was so heartbroken and devastated. She hated them, and now she was doing everything just to destroy her. She was also ready to now Anne was checking the files and Julie came to roll her everything about the company and about meetings, and after that Van had to go with him to a meeting. Van was so nervous but she had to go do that because she made up her mind. Van came out of the cabin and started walking beside him while holding the file. She got pissed so easily. The heels were disturbing her so much. He was so fast and she had to run out of time to catch his speed. She was walking behind him. They came out of the company and the driver opened the door for them. He sat down and she sat in front of him while breathing happily. It was so stressful for her. They arrived and she followed him. The first day became so difficult for her. He sat down and she stood beside him. He started talking to a man in front of him and was listening to them. Suddenly he looked at her and she realized that now it was her time to explain the next project. He started telling her man was not a dumb. She knew about projects. She knew how to deal with businessmen. After that, they again sat down in the car. They were going to meet another businessman whom he had invited. He looked at her and you did good job. I believe that you can handle. She smiled. His role was so strict. After that, she met with another two businessmen, and at the end of the day, her whole body gone after because she was working so many years later. The driver stopped the car and he walked out. It was the time of going back to home. After putting the files, she was standing here for her driver. She looked at the driver. The driver, she sat down and was so tired and drove off. And after a long day, she entered her house. She sat down and took off her AC. She did so much. Today it was a tiring day. She laid back and she didn't want to do that again. She didn't want to make him fall in love with her. She just wanted to work there. But when the flashback came into her mind at that time, she just wanted to Joan and Katie. The next day again in the office. But with the different feelings suddenly started to feel that she was not doing right. Suddenly she started to hate what she wanted to do for once. Suddenly she started to realize that she was becoming the same as Katie. She was standing here while her gaze were down. She was not feeling good. He entered and she greeted him. He sat down on the chair and placed the files in front of him. He looked at her. Got tired on the second date. She looked at him and he was smiling. She nodded. Don't worry. She smiled while nodding. He checked the files. He was so kind and humble. Shivan came and sat down here and while working she heard Katie's voice. She came to meet her husband. He came out of the office and hugged her and was watching them from the glass window. Let's go, he nodded and they walked up while smiling. Once they up, she didn't want to leave. Happily, she destroyed her habits, but she had a son and she grabbed her cell phone. She wanted to leak her important information of her ex-husband's company to get revenge, and also he was facing the courts now. This one was happy that one of them getting what they deserve. Every company wanted to get higher position and they spread different rumors to destroy each other's reputation. But now one was doing that just to destroy them. 1 month later, one was sitting in front of him. They both were staring outside of the car. He was later upset because she didn't ask him because she was suffering from a depression. It's not a part of the today's quitting, but it's the deep secret of uh, Jones export. So do you want to like it? Isn't important for him? I don't care about him. I will still like him. He was staring at her and she would be happy boss because you find his a catchy boss. But I want to. This is not good. You are doing this because of person grudges. Yes, because he cheated on me. I will spare him and please, boss, don't interfere. She immediately shut her mouth after talking, but she said, I'm sorry, it's okay. Katie still didn't know whether Van was her his secretary because she didn't come to me company too much. She all Van always heard that Katie was shopping. Katie liked existing and she believed Janko more than anything. He was actually so loyal to her and Van didn't try to flirt with him because he was so humble and kind. Many days passed and Van was working or sitting in his cabin while suddenly she heard Katie's voice. She again came and Van got pissed after hearing her. Katie's baby was so sweet with everyone. She saw that he could never hurt anyone, but Van knew her very well. Now Katie was talking nicely. He came out and she looked at him. They both walked at one after and she believed that Katie would do a drama and would force her to leave her husband's company. Now Van was remembering the flashbacks when Katie used to complicate Van with her husband. She was manipulated. She always manipulated by her behavior. She hated her. At night, Van was standing here for a taxi loan. He came out of the company and looked at her. Vani, are you are still here? I nodded. You can go with Vaughn. I'm going with on my own, so go ahead. She nodded and sat down on the car while he was here setting his own kind stop. He was somewhere and Katie didn't deserve it. 6 months later, many months have passed and still she was working in his company with no profit. They went to many meetings and she never felt like he was a loose character man. Now they were here for a business dealing. Katie didn't come because she was weak. Now one was staring and while he was laughing with his friends. He was having fun when he was working. So everyone just sat there and just stared at him. She didn't want him. She just wanted to see the end of Kathy's happiness. She turned her face and looked at the other colleagues. Everyone was having fun except that she wouldn't worry, but she saw Katie's flashback. The next morning, he opened his eyes and he was on the bed. He sat down and looked at the room. He wasn't here last night. He touched himself as he was not wearing a shirt. He looked at the room and it was not his room. He panicked and got up. He looked at the things and it was Van's room. What I'm doing in her room, he walked out vaguely. He was trying to think positively. He didn't want to think that he cheated on his wife. He never wanted to do that. He loved her so much. His eyes was burning. He came out and one was standing there. He walked towards her mind. What I was doing in your room, huh? Tell me how I ended up in your room. She was just staring at him. The silence was hitting her. He was getting more panic. She didn't say anything after seeing her silence. He started back and was so he wiped the sweat out of his forehead. Why don't you stop, huh? Did you want that? Tell me why are you silent now? You could stop if I lost my mind. How can you even do that? He held his hand. You always wanted this. I am right. You always wanted this. You were behind me. I believe that you forced me. You wanted to run my operation with my mask because you were jealous. I can't do this. I was staring at him thinking he had gone crazy. Tell me why are you not saying anything? Tell me what happened. I was looking at them. Nothing on my face was. You slept last night so your friends left you there. Nothing happened between us. And why do you even think that I want you? If you don't believe me, then ask your friends. I looked at your friends and he's saying this, she's saying this. Yes, but are you behaving like this? Have you lost your mind? She didn't even touch you. Guys, I have something to tell you. He looked down and regretted what she had said. But they all looked at her, including him. You all know about his wife, am I right? He loves her so much, but doesn't know what she cheated on him. They all gasped. What? What are you saying? This is true. She cheated on me with my husband. They all looked at him. Still, he couldn't believe her because he believed his wife so much. He took her cell phone and showed him all the photos. These are for ex-addicts. She smiled and I have videos. She showed them in front of them. His heart was beating. He looked at everyone. His friends were giving him a shock look. She came into my house behind my husband. He wasn't interested in my first, but she started to leave that. She's not what you think. She destroyed our house. I also blame my husband and hate him, but she was my friend and also a married girl. She had this from junk. I was looking at him and he didn't see something. His eyes was on the second. He didn't want to cry in front of everyone. And stop thinking that I want you. I just want my revenge for my wife. I don't even like you. Now stop saying that I'm behind you. He was quick and just stared at her. His heart was breaking and he wasn't ready to accept his wife turned and walked out of there. They came back from a trip and he found out everything. He was ready to ask his wife about everything and he was standing there while waiting for wine. She came out of the airport and ignored him and was ready to resign. He stopped wine. She looked at him and I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for that. I shouldn't say that. I didn't know that you go so much. I'm sorry. It's so good that you understand. You are not me like your wife, she said while he was standing there. So will you resign? Yes, I want to go back to my country. Okay, he wanted to say something, but bye. She nodded and they both walked in different ways. He sat down in the car and drove off and she sat there waited for her plane. Katie was sitting there while waiting for him. She entered the house and she ran to hug him, but he pushed her and she fell. What happened? She walked towards him and get out of this house. Don't show me your face again. But what happened? You cheated on me with Wine's husband. Her eyes were no, we didn't know this is not true. She's lying. Janku don't believe her. How can you know? She told me, huh? Why are you talking her name? I know she tells you don't believe her. She just wanted to come between us. She informed him as she was trying to touch him, but he yanked her. I have proofs. Don't say that. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but don't leave me. She was begging him, but he was filled with so much anger. He didn't want to do that. Anything else, she just threw her out of the house. He begged him, but she knew that she wouldn't accept her because it was her mistake. She was still in shock. She tried everything. 1 week later, Vaughn was sitting there. She was feeling so good as she just died. Her husband lost the case and was sent to prison for making fake protection. One leg did. And Katie was left on the road. She had no one. Her brother refused to give her place. One was smiling but thinking, I didn't use that idea in which I wanted him. I was not comfortable. I couldn't do she what did. My mind wasn't allowing me to do that. I hated the most. I changed my mind. That idea was just made out of anger and hate.